Today, we're venturing into the most intimate yet most mysterious landscape of all, the human mind. For centuries, we've mapped the outer world, the continents, the oceans, even the distant stars. But what about our inner world, that vast, uncharted territory of our own consciousness?
What if I told you there was a guide, an ancient atlas that actually charts every flicker of joy, every shadow of anger, every subtle shift in awareness? Well, today, we're exploring just such a map, a system laid out in the Buddhist Abhidhamma that tries to do exactly that. So let's begin our exploration.
Our expedition today will take us through 5 key regions of this inner world. First, we'll get our bearings, understand the basic principles of the map. Then, we'll explore the 4 great continents of consciousness. After that, we'll navigate the familiar terrain of our daily senses, ascend to the mind's higher realms, and finally, we'll glimpse the path that leads beyond the known world itself.
Every great exploration needs a starting point, right? A fundamental unit of measurement. For our journey into the mind, that unit is called Citta.
Now, Citta isn't a thing. It's not a noun like a rock or a tree. Think of it more like a verb, a process. It's the simple, continuous act of the mind making contact with something, a sight, a sound, a memory, a thought. It's the very pulse of awareness itself.
And this reveals a fundamental law of this inner world. Consciousness, or Citta, it's kind of like a light. You see, a light can't just exist in a totally empty void. We only know it's there when it's illuminating something. It's the same with the mind. The mind is never just on in a vacuum. It is always aware of something. And that something is its object. Okay, so with that principle in hand, we can now look at the grand topography of the mind. The Abhidhamma sorts every possible conscious moment into 4 immense spheres, or what we can think of as the 4 great continents of experience.
So here they are. The sense sphere is the world we all live in day to day, the world of sights, sounds, tastes, and all the thoughts that swirl around them. Then you have the fine material and immaterial spheres. These are higher, more refined states. It's like ascending from the low plains up to the high mountain peaks, and you can only get there through deep concentration. And finally, you have the Supramundane, a realm that exists beyond our normal, conditioned world altogether.
Now, if you add up the first 3 spheres, the sense sphere, fine material, and immaterial, you get 81 distinct types of consciousness. These are all called mundane states, and what that tells us is pretty amazing. The vast, overwhelming majority of our mental life unfolds right here, within the boundaries of our conditioned world.
So, for this next part of our journey, let's zoom in on that largest, most familiar continent, the sense sphere. This is the landscape of our everyday minds.
You can see this realm is basically divided into 3 main territories. You've got the 12 unwholesome states. Think of these as the toxic, difficult terrains. Then there are the 18 rootless states, which are more neutral. They're like the simple machinery of perception, just doing its job. And then you have the 24 beautiful states, the luminous, wholesome, and brilliant landscapes of the mind.
So what makes a state of mind unwholesome? Well, this map tells us they all flow from 3 toxic springs. There's greed, or lobha, that's the pulling, grasping energy of desire. Then there's hatred, or dosa, that's the pushing away, the aversion. And finally, delusion, or moha, that's the mental fog that just stops us from seeing things as they really are.
But this map is incredibly precise. It shows that even a single unwholesome state isn't just one thing. Let's take greed, for example, the consciousness of wanting something. Well, it can feel joyful, or it can just feel neutral. It can be tangled up with a wrong view, like thinking, oh, it doesn't matter if I take this. And it can pop up all by itself, or it can be prompted, spurred on by someone else, or even by our own internal chatter.
The source material gives us a perfect, real-world example. Just think about the difference between seeing something and immediately wanting to take it versus having a friend egging you on, saying, go on, nobody's looking. The action on the outside might look the same, but the internal state of consciousness is different. That's the kind of subtle distinction this map makes crystal clear.
Now, on the other side of this landscape lie the beautiful states. They're powered by the direct antidotes to those toxic roots we just talked about. So where there was greed, we find non-greed, generosity. Where there was hatred, we find non-hatred, kindness. And where there was delusion, we find non-delusion, wisdom and clarity. These wholesome roots are the wellsprings of the mind's most brilliant qualities. Okay, let's leave the vast, bustling plains of the sense spheres and begin our ascent.
We're heading for the high peaks of consciousness now, the fine material and immaterial spheres, and these are only accessible through some serious mental training.
The vehicle for this climb is something called jhāna. These are these incredibly powerful states of meditative absorption, where the mind gets so focused and so unified that all the usual mental static, the worry, the desire, the restlessness, it all gets suppressed, at least for a while. The mind becomes unbelievably calm, clear, and powerful.
And the ascent through these jhanas is a process of refinement, of shedding. It begins with 5 key mental factors present, but as concentration gets deeper, these factors are let go of one by one. By the time you reach the 5th jhana, the mind has become extraordinarily subtle, resting only in a state of perfect equanimity and unshakable one-pointed focus.
We now arrive at the very edge of our map, the final destination of this inner journey. This is the supramundane consciousness, a state that, by its very definition, transcends the ordinary world of cause and effect we all live in.
And this ultimate experience has 2 distinct parts. First, there's the path consciousness. Its function is like a flash of lightning that permanently eradicates a layer of the mind's deepest impurities. Then, immediately after, comes the fruition consciousness, and its only job is to experience the profound peace and freedom that comes from that purification.
So while there are 8 of these fundamental supramundane states, the map shows us there's an even deeper layer of complexity. Each of these liberating moments can be, let's say, colored by the refined qualities of those meditative states, the jhanas we just discussed. It just goes to show you that the path to liberation isn't some single event, but a rich spectrum of experience. It's really a testament to the incredible precision of this ancient system.
So after this whole expedition through the mind's inner cosmos, what's the big takeaway? Ultimately, this map, the Abhidhamma, isn't just some intellectual exercise. It's designed to be a practical tool. By learning to identify the states that arise in our own minds, we can learn to navigate them more skillfully, cultivating the good stuff and letting go of the unhelpful stuff.
It's a profound system that turns our awareness from just a passive observer into an active explorer. And that really leaves us with one final question. Now that you have a glimpse of the map of your own inner world, where will you choose to direct your awareness?